Rosie.
Hello.
Thanks for coming and joining me today.
You're welcome.
I know we talked formally prior to being a daughter of a mom that was an addict prior to, right?
Yeah.
And then we spoke about the trials and tribulations you had to go through. So what was the age you kind of noticed the difference between your mom than other moms, shall we say?
I would say it was like very early on. I would say like 7, 6, like very early. 7, 6. Yeah, it was just like.
So what is that you noticed that you seemed like she was different from other moms, or there was something going on different?
It was just like a lot of like running around, trying to places. Like we were always around like older people. Mm-hmm. Now that I know now, like youngins like me, like just out there running amok, and we were like involved in that. So like just like going to different people's houses and stuff like that. Like I just kind of felt like it wasn't normal.
And so how many siblings do you have?
I have 4 siblings.
As
Ray, myself, Amara, and Jaden.
So no, like it's 2 girls.
It's 2 boys and 2 girls. But growing up, it was 3 of us.
3 of us. And
One
you fall in the line of what? The middle, the middle,
yeah,
the middle child. So you have your older sibling is how many years? Like
2 years old.
2 years old. So if you were 7, 8, 9, so your older sibling was 9 years old.
About. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about your living situations when you first experienced, that you guys were in trouble, that there was something going on with your living situation.
It was when I was in 1st grade. I remember us having an apartment, and we were like living there, but then we ended up getting kicked out there, and we had to go live with my stepdad's sister. And we were there for not too long, and then we all ended up homeless.
So you were homeless around 7 years old?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen your mom use drugs?
No, not physically, but I seen her under the influence.
Okay. Was she erratic, or how was that, dealing with that? How old were you? Let's say.
Like, what do you mean?
How old were you when you first seen her acting like she was high?
Well, I kind of just always thought it was her, but then as I started growing up to understand what I was really around, then I was like, okay. She doesn't really act out of the ordinary. It's just over time actions just take a toll on people's lives, I guess. I don't know.
Was she working prior to, before you guys became homeless, or you said you lived with?
I don't remember her working, but I remember my stepdad working.
Not your father, but
my stepdad.
Your stepdad? Okay. And so you guys became homeless and moved in with relatives at the time?
Yes. And then
everybody?
Yeah, it was me, my older brother, my little sister, my dad, and my stepdad and my mom. And we moved with my aunt, my uncle, and her son.
So how was that?
Was
it a normal household, or?
No, it was a normal household. Like, wake up early, eat breakfast, like go to school, go get us ready. Would always like be at school and stuff. Like never really in the mix like that. But then eventually we all became homeless, and we were like sleeping in our cars at a park.
At what age were you?
I was probably like going on 8, going on 9. So like
basically a year later,
yes,
after moving with your relatives, you guys became homeless again.
Yes, but it was like for real homeless.
You were living in your car.
Yes, on the streets
with your mom, your stepdad, and all 4 of your siblings in one car.
Yeah, it was 3 of us because Jaden didn't come until like later on.
Okay, so it was 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3 at the time. So you were pretty young though, but you remember that.
Yeah.
So how did you feel? Did you
I just like remember one time when cause we would kind of always go late to school, like in the morning, cause we'll be like far away from our school. We'll either like in the car, or sometimes she'll get like hotels or something. So I remember one time I got dropped off at school, and I have like really curly hair, so my hair was like really like just a fro. And when I got to school, they were just looking at me like, dang, like nobody comb your hair. So stuff like that, like I will never forget, because it just made me feel like, dang, like all the other little kids
Were able to have their hair combed,
right? Like
and you were unable to keep yourself looking like you just
polished
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that's one that I remember.
Yeah. And you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you remember like vaguely, right?
Yes.
So after being homeless, were there any time that you guys got any help to or any from the system, or to help you guys get a place, or
yes, we've been into shelters before.
How many times have you been in a shelter?
I could say about 3 or 4 that I remember of. Like one was
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times. Like you'll just wake up, everybody will be in the same room. We'll all wake up early in the morning, eat breakfast, and everybody will have to leave. I'm guessing the parents would have to go find a job or whatever, but us kids will go to school.
Okay.
After school, they'll pick us up, and we'll all wait in line just so that they could open up the doors for us to go back to the shelter.
So how was the shelter? Was it, did you feel safe?
Yeah.
You felt safe in the shelter?
I felt safe as long as I was like with my family. I just felt safe.
Okay. So you've been in the shelter, you said, a couple of times?
Yes.
Do you remember a time when you were a little bit older and you were in the shelter? Did you ever get angry at your mom?
Not while we were in the shelter.
Because of the situations, or?
I can't remember me really getting mad. I would say later on, as I was growing up, I kind of like started having anger. But I don't think while I was in the shelters, no, I don't think I had.
Why were you mad at her?
Because I just felt like I had a disadvantage in life because of my parents' actions, and like I just wasn't brought up properly in my eyes, like that. But then again,
Did you finish school?
I didn't. I didn't finish school. I went to a trade school. It was called Job Corps, and I ended up getting kicked out of there, and I'm in the process of getting my GED.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What about your sister? We was 3 at the time.
Yeah, so she's 18 now. She's actually completing school. She's in her senior year, so.
I know you mentioned that you stayed, because we talked before.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that, you know, about the shelters, about staying with family members, and so on and so forth. Being that your mom were on, you know, drugs, and then she got better, and then she went back, and then she got better. So being that unattentive to a child, was there any type of molestation going on?
Not for me.
What about your sisters and brothers?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really share like on their behalf, but I mean, from my understanding, no.
Who was the more protective one over you guys?
My brother.
Your brother. He's older, right?
Yeah.
Older. He protected you guys while your mom was kind of MIA sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, they would kind of butt heads because we just kind of always wanted her to be a certain way.
Like what?
We always say like a mother, and that's just loving, caring, understanding, you know, basics. But some people just like to choose their own lives.
So one time you felt like she wasn't being the mother that she could be?
Yes.
Because of the drugs?
Definitely, yeah.
Have you ever seen her overdose or anything?
No, I never seen her overdose. I have seen my grandma overdose.
Yeah.
And that was when I was at a young age. I was 8. I went downstairs to ask her for $1 for the ice cream, and I was shaking her, and I was like, "Grandma, grandma, grandma," and she wasn't responding, and her friend was in the passenger seat, and he just started acting crazy, like, "Oh my God," and the ambulance came, and that's when I was like, "Oh dang."
Because I remember us talking, and you did say you felt like it was something from your mother's mother. It went on from like a generational situation with drugs and alcohol in your family.
Yes.
So I want to skip up a little bit. I know we talked about you, and you said the most you ever did was weed.
Right.
You know, because you knew that what it would, cause
lead to, right.
would lead to, and I commend you on that because, it is a lot to deal with. But I think you chose a great path considering what you had to go through. I know we talked about relationships, and we talked about you being in the same situation. So you said you were homeless before. You had your place. You end up not having a place at one point in time, but you were in a relationship at this specific time.
Yeah.
But what stuck out to me the most when we were talking is that that you were homeless and you took to the streets because it seemed like that's all you knew. That's all you knew to do. And you and your boyfriend were living behind a trash can with a mattress. That really did you feel like this is the life, like this is all I know? Or
I didn't feel like this is life. I just felt like, dang, does it end here? Is this as good as it gets, like there has to be something more than this. That's all. I just kept feeling like it doesn't end here. I didn't want to be there.
So how did you guys pull yourself together to change the situation?
We kind of let go. We kind of just let go and went back to our families and started building our lives.
But prior to that, let me just ask this before you say this. How did you even survive? No, let me ask you this. Well, how many times did you have to go to resort to the streets? How many times did you have to do that?
I would say the majority of my life. The majority.
How did you survive?
I would panhandle. And I would just kind of take life easy and just go to a park, go to libraries.
So did you have a car at the time, or you were sleeping just out on the streets?
I would have to travel on the bus. I was sleeping on the streets. Sometimes I would sleep in a laundry room at an apartment complex, or the pool restroom.
Just somewhere for shelter. During all this time, do you blame your mom?
Sometimes I do. Just cause it's I know I wouldn't be here right now if she would have chose a different path for herself and for us. I probably wouldn't even be here if she chose another path. So, I mean, I do, but then again, sometimes I don't because I gotta take accountability for my life. Like, I'm not gonna make the same actions that she makes or decisions that she makes. Like, I gotta make my own. And that's what kind of separates us from each other.
So what is your ideal mom?
I would say a supporter, kind of like a caretaker, a provider. I would also say like someone that's loving, caring, understanding. And I don't know, just want to be shown how to be. I want to be shown how to do things right in the world. I don't want to have to learn or go on the internet to learn. Like, you know, I feel like I should get my wisdom
From your mom?
Yeah.
Are you guys in a good place right now?
I would say
Good
so.
space, rather? Good
Yeah.
space.
I would say so.
Well, I really, like I said before, I know we spoke about a lot of things, and you know, do you believe in sometimes people go through, because this could be worse. I know it seems, and I know it felt, and I know you experienced something that was just, it really was trauma. It was trauma, you know, tragic trauma, trial. But I'm really a firm believer in people that go through things that can help another person. Sometimes it don't even have to be about us, but unfortunately it hurts us.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel the same way? How have you ran into someone that had the same experience and you would have to share your experience and say, hey, I was in this situation, this is how you can get out? Because right now you have your own place, right? You're working, you're doing better, and you want to exceed and excel into a different other occupation. So if you look back, you have overcame those hurdles.
Yes, I have.
You really have. So don't ever doubt. Sometimes our trials are just hard, but in the end, you are helping someone else. So, and that being said, I really appreciate you sharing the story with us, dealing with, you know, being the daughter of a child going through homeless situations, living in the car, living in the shelter, had to, you know, just basically survive, because I know at one point when you felt like you were raising yourself.
Yes. I had to enroll myself into 7th grade.
You enrolled yourself into
seventh grade.
Wow.
Yeah, because my mom went to prison, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we even touched on that.
Yeah.
She was in and out of prison a lot as well.
Yeah, she would go to jail, and then the last time was when she went to prison, and it changed her. I would say, she says that.
For the better.
For the better.
For the better.
For the better.
For the better. That last one.
Right.
The last one. Okay.
How to get her.
Yeah. That's good though. That's good. But through it all, you're still here. You still made it, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You know, sitting down talking with me, because I know it was a lot. But I wish you much success and much happiness and many blessings upon your life, and I hope all is well.
Yes.